Good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us. We're here today to talk about the incident involving the death of a probation and parole agent in Chevy Chase last night. The two speakers today are going to be Chief Marcus Jones, that's Marcus, common spelling, Marcus, Jones, common spelling, and Carolyn J. Scruggs, that's Carolyn, Carolyn, J as in John, Scruggs, Scruggs, and she's the secretary of the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services. First up is Chief Marcus Jones. Thank you.
So good afternoon. Today we will provide an update on the investigation into the death of a Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services agent and the ongoing search for the suspect, Emmanuel Edward Sewell. The victim in this case has been identified as 33-year-old Davis Martinez. Again, Davis Martinez, a Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services agent. And Agent Martinez has been employed with this department for 6 years. First and foremost, the loss of a law enforcement officer who was performing his duties for the state of Maryland is a tragedy. I want to extend my sympathies on behalf of the County Executive, Mark Eldridge, the Chief Administrative Officer, Rich Madalino, who is with us here today, and all of the citizens of Montgomery County, as well as the men and women of the Montgomery County Department of Police, sharing our condolences with the Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services, Secretary Sewell. It is a very tough situation for all of us, but for them particularly in the loss of their agent, Davis Martinez. And this loss impacts not only his family, who we again send our deepest sympathies to as well, and colleagues, but also the community that he served. Law enforcement officers put their lives on the line every day to ensure the safety of our community, and the death of Agent Martinez is a stark reminder of the dangers we face every day. On yesterday, May 31st at approximately 5:50 p.m., officers from the Montgomery County Police Department 2nd District responded to a welfare check call. The call was for a Maryland Parole and Probation agent who had not reported back to work after conducting a resident check on Emmanuel Edward Sewell, an individual who was on parole for his offenses. Upon arrival at the 2800 block of Terrace Drive in Chevy Chase, officers observed the agent's state-issued vehicle parked outside the apartment building. Upon entering the residence, based upon the information that we had, officers discovered an adult male who was pronounced dead at the scene. Emmanuel Edward Sewell was not in the apartment at that time and has not been located since the discovery of the body. The medical examiner has determined the manner of death to be homicide. Our victim has suffered multiple injuries that caused his death. Emmanuel Edward Sewell, 54 years of age, is considered a suspect in this case and is currently wanted on the strength of a warrant charging him with second-degree murder in the death of Agent Martinez. Sewell is approximately 5'9" tall, and he weighs approximately 250 pounds. We also believe that he is in possession of Agent Martinez, his badge, Again, I repeat, we believe that Mr. Sewell is in possession of Agent Martinez's badge. We believe that Sewell may be driving a gray 2017 Hyundai Elantra with Maryland handicap tags 93661 H as in Henry, T as in time. Again, we believe he's driving a gray 2017 Hyundai Elantra with Maryland handicap plates 93661 HT. Again, a warrant has been issued for his arrest, charging him with second-degree murder. The Montgomery County Department of Police Major Crimes Division and our Special Investigations Division is actively searching for Sewell. The Maryland State Police have issued a blue alert to help locate Sewell. Sewell may be armed and he is considered dangerous. We urge the public to we urge the public not to approach him if he is spotted. And again, our thoughts and condolences are with the family and the colleagues of Agent Martinez during this difficult time. We will continue to provide updates as the investigation continues. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Carolyn J. Scruggs, and I'm the Secretary of the Maryland Department of Public Safety and Correctional Services. That is the parent organization for the Division of Parole and Probation. I'm here today to express our heartfelt sympathy for the loss of our agent. I want to extend thanks to the Montgomery County Police Department as well as the Maryland State Police for everything that they've done to this point to help us to apprehend this individual that has caused this tragic loss. I would also like to extend my condolences to the family and to our DPSCS family, specifically our agents within the Division of Parole and Probation. We've had many conversations about our agent, and things like professional, diligent, resilience are what we hear about Agent Martinez. Please continue to keep us in your prayers, keep their family in your prayers. These are the unsung heroes that you often do not hear about, but they are part of law enforcement and they do a great job every day. Thank you.
So we will open it up for brief questions. If you can just raise your hand, let me know, and we'll have them respond.
Chief, thank you for your time. You mentioned that this agent had multiple injuries. Can you clarify, was he shot?
No, he was not shot. We believed he was, at this point, we won't release exactly how but we would tell you his injuries relate to blunt force trauma, okay?
Just to clarify, so the home he was found in is the suspect?
That is correct. That is correct, yes. And I do want to add that there is a $10,000 reward that's being provided by the U.S. Marshal Service for information leading up to the capture of Mr. Sewell, okay?
Sure. When did Agent Martinez go to Sewell's home? How long did he be missing before the team needed to check on him?
Well, I believe that Agent Martinez went to the residence earlier in the day.
So that day,
So yes, early on the same day, but earlier in the
he
day.
had been missing for like several hours, or?
Well, yes, he was supposed to report back to work, and no one had heard from him. So yeah, so at this point, we just believe that he went earlier in the day, and then this incident occurred.
Chief, when he was serving that welfare check, was he alone? Is it typical for them to go alone on their service?
I will let the secretary answer that question.
Good question. Thank you for that question. Yes, he was alone on the home visit, and it is typical that they go alone on those visits. Typically, they will assess the situation, assess the risk. This individual had not shown to pose a risk prior, so that he was there by himself.
Right there.
Madam Secretary, where did Agent Martinez live? What city? Can you tell us that?
I believe it was Silver Spring. I'll verify that. But yes, Silver Spring.
About that, can you tell us anything about his family? Does he leave behind a wife or kids?
At this time, we've been in contact with one family member, which was his brother. I also know that his mom is still living, but there is no wife or children that we're aware of.
How long did he represent him? How long was he the parole officer for him?
So let me clarify first that he's not on parole. He's on mandatory release. So the suspect has done 25 out of 29 years, and he had mandatory release, not parole. Difference, okay? And also, he has had at least one prior agent that serviced him. So he's been on mandatory release since March of 2021. He was due to come off in October of 2025. So Mr. Sewell has been with him for quite some time. I can get that exact information, but I don't have it with me. But he's had at least one more. Yes, they did.
And Madam Secretary, just again, ma'am, you said he was supposed to come off mandatory.
Off of his mandatory release supervision in 2025 of October, yes. He's been on since March of 21.
Yeah, can you describe, you said, they had known each other, was it a couple years, would you say, that they knew each other?
I don't want to give you false information, so let me look back into the record, and then we can tell you exactly when that transition occurred, and we can be specific.
And then I know you had mentioned had not shown proposed prior, or risk prior. Did you ever hear anything from Agent Martinez about their relationship? Did he ever mention or?
We are doing a complete risk assessment right now to determine whether there were any hiccups, any challenges, any concerns, and then we will be happy to share the full result of that investigation once it's completed.
One more question?
Chief, quick question. So this happened just before 6 is when that welfare check was done, right, for this agent?
Yes.
Was there a reason why information wasn't released till past 11?
Well, because there was a lot of, well, again, based upon just the investigation, it took us some time with the crime scene and understanding exactly what we had. Again, we were in an apartment, and it requires a lot of other legal challenges. So therefore, that's why. And a lot of this information that we needed to gather was really, it took us a while to put that together. Okay.
I can also
All right.
address that.
Yes. Okay. All right.
So as far as the PIO perspective, because this was an agent of the parole and probation, we didn't want to put any information out before family next of kin was notified. Excuse me. We didn't want to put out any information before next of kin was notified, and also we wanted to make sure that the suspect was not alerted to the fact that we knew that this person had been identified and located in the house.
Just for clarification on the suspect's car, or the car that he may be driving, do you believe that that is his car?
Yes, we do. Yes.
All right.
All right.
Thank you all for your time. We're going to be putting out a news release in about 14 minutes. And we will also have an image of the badge. I don't know whether or not they have a photo of the victim. We will not be releasing a photo of the victim.